The project I'm heading, and my project is called Zivuga Engoma Zivuga. Zivuga Engoma Zivuga means sounds of the drum are sounding. My interest is basically about children, working with children, and I take them as the drum that makes the sound for others to hear and listen. Zivuga as a project has several parts. We have a group of registered women. They dropped out of school because of early pregnancy. In our communities here in Bujagali, you find that young girls at the ages of 12, 13 tend to drop out of school either because of early pregnancy or forced marriages. Girls that get pregnant and drop out of school have really turned to be in kind of a worse. The parents are not there for the girls. The girls tend to have different body changes. Whenever it comes to time for puberty stage, the girls are at a risk because whenever it's their first period, the girls tend to have a problem. The parents are very harsh. Parents are not there for them, so the girls get a problem. First period will force them to look for money to buy the sanitary pads. They don't have the money. And when they don't have that money, what really happens is these girls will ask the big girls, who will tell them, get a boyfriend. The boyfriends will say, yes, you want to be my girlfriend? Something is for something. So through ignorance, they will accept sleep with these big boys, and the big boys will end up making them pregnant. So the girls, when they get pregnant, the parents are very harsh. But the parents have really forgotten they did not do their part. The girls suffer, some of them rush to their grandmothers, which grandmothers are very helpless. So with all that, I thought it better that I think if I started a project that is there to help the little girl or the girl child, that would really do something. Those that are yet to come into puberty and those that have already gone into that stage, and those that have been victims of early pregnancy. How do I help them? One, I help them by teaching them how to make local sanitary pads using old cotton cloth, whereby the sanitary pads are reusable. They can make 1, 2, 3, or 5, and then they can always change, which keeps them away from the boys and looking for money. I believe that if I impart the girl child with a little life skill, and that would help the girl. In Zivuga, our purpose is basically looking at talent. Our mission is achieving our purpose through music, dance, drama, and art. The main objective is a better life helped with talent. So I'm hopeful with people's support and with people's hands of help, I can push on this project, and I know that I can help the girl child. Those that I have right now could be winds of change, that if they learn something, they could be able to teach others. Right now, the girls are always coming every day after school to come and have dance classes, which keeps them away from peer group influence. During the holidays, we have a program. You find that most of the children around the village are dying because of malaria. To me, I have a feeling that if we educate the children about how to look after themselves and how to avoid malaria, that is one way of empowering them with a skill. Because you find that parents leave home to look for the money, because here in Africa we believe that if you have the wallet full of money, then you have your home controlled. But we don't have time for the children. So sometimes the girls that are aged 11, 12 are left with their siblings. Sometimes they don't know what is happening. The sibling is falling sick. The siblings start sleeping in the shed. They don't know what's happening. When they ask, it's a headache. They don't know the signs and symptoms of malaria. So you find that equipping the girls with some knowledge about malaria, that will automatically be a skill. How do we do that? At Zivuga, we are having a little library, and within the library, we are just lucky to have a few books, whereby I'm a book collector, and I'm also good at writing stories. So I have written a little storybook entitled Living Life Preventing Malaria. When the children read the story and understand it, it helps them understand the basics, how to go about malaria, and they will not forget because they have read the story with very interesting names, very interesting pictures, and then it gives them that skill. Then we want to teach them about organic farming. Basically, we have the 3 R's. We want to look at how we can manage waste in our community. And like I told you, we are the drums. We, the young ones, are the drums, and we need to show the other people, the adults, that yes, we are the drums. We want everybody to pick a polythene bag, everybody to pick a plastic bottle, and then put it somewhere, or recycle it, turn it into something. Just like making flowers out of the bottles, paint them, the children will like it, but then they will know that I should never leave a plastic bottle somewhere. And then we want also the children to learn during the holidays. They are learning about making compost, that is organic manure, and basically using all that waste that rots. We make sure we decompose the waste and then later on transfer it into backyard gardens so that they can get something to eat. Why we are going to learn about backyard gardening with the children is, one, in our communities here, people believe in one thing. When I send my child to school, I'll have foregone the expense of lunch. So children go with 1 meal a day. And you find that most of the children are dying because of malnutrition. But parents are not aware where that is coming from. When the doctors ask them, do your children feed? They always say, yes, they do feed. We give them milk, we give them tea, we give them food. But they're eating the same type of food and they're eating 1 meal a day, which is really bad. So we are looking at creating a friendly way of using recycled tins, old sacks, old tires, and then we turn them into gardens. So basically, the project has a vision, and the vision is basically looking at how do we help the little mothers out there. And we have a program that really needs funding. We have other organizations around the community that are working with government-aided schools, but I was thinking that if we could also visit the private schools, if we could move within different schools, we get to know how many have dropped out of school and who knows where they are. Are they seated outside there? Are they in the village anywhere? Do you know where to find them? We go find them. If we manage, we can collect 100 shillings, 200, buy for them what they don't have. Maybe we get to know that little mother A does not have some milk for the child. Little mother A does not have soap, sugar. We can always visit her and then encourage the little mother to know that it is not the end of life. Think about how you can move on. How do you do that? Come and join us. Whenever the drum plays, you steam off the stress, dance a little bit, get to learn some other little skill, crafts. You do something with yourself, knit, bring it to the shop, because we have a very lovely shop. You bring it to the shop and then we can simply sell it for you. When we sell for you the product, simply come for your money. So we are having challenges as a project. One of the biggest challenges we have is we are still under rental. I think with time we could acquire a small piece of land that we could make a permanent home for ourselves. Because one of the visions we had is if we could get a permanent home, we could simply pick the little mother's babies and put them into a children's home and then tell the mother, we are getting you vocational education, go to school, come back every weekend, look at your baby. For us to take the initiative to keep the babies, and that is one thing I'm dreaming of, and I don't know whether it will happen, but I know with hands of help, one day, one time it will come true. I want to have a home where I collect all babies from all those young mothers and find ways of forcing the mothers back to school so that they can get further education and get a better living thereafter. Final message I have for everybody out there is all types of donations are welcome. We love the books. If you have a way of sending us the books, we really love the books because it is one culture that is fading out, but we hope that with the little classes that we have here, we can always help the children out to understand what they are reading about. So all donations are welcome. I love everybody that has the same passion, that shares the same passion that I share, of loving the children and especially loving the girl child and being a teacher for this world. Thank you.